Okay, hello, I'm Catherine, and I am currently in the program, the master's program, for teaching English as a second language. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a technological method to teaching English as a second language. So, for this method, one would need a phone, which is pretty handy. Many people have them, although many people also don't. But the technological method I'm going to be using is an app. So this app is actually called Duolingo. Okay, let's see if you can see that. So um, that's the app's logo, Duolingo. So basically, once you go on your app store, you have to first go on your app store and download the app. And when you open it, originally, okay, so I've already pretty much downloaded it and registered, but you're going to download it, you're going to register. It also gives you an option to take a placement test, or you can just go ahead and start from the beginning of the app. Personally, as an English teacher, I think finding out the placement of my students is very important. So personally, I prefer to take the placement test. Now, I've actually utilized this app to attempt to learn Spanish as my second language. And so I went ahead and took the placement test, and I was actually able to skip 3 levels. So to this app, there are levels, and the more questions you answer correctly and the more things that you go through, the higher your level is. I also like this app because it gives you daily reminders. I think this would be a great way to allow students to practice the language even at home. So this could be used as homework. Students have to maybe go through a level each day that they go home after practicing with us. You could utilize what they're teaching in the app to kind of put your finger on what you want to teach during in class time. Obviously, you'll create your lessons based upon student needs, but this can also kind of help guide your lesson planning as well. You know, when you think of the fact that they have to go home and practice this later. So anyways, the first step I have on mine, I've just registered and logged in and everything, and like I said, I've skipped a few levels, but I'm going to click on this one. This is the intro, and then you can click on tips. Now, tips just kind of gives you an outline of what the questions will be asking you once you begin. So I have here, because I'm learning Spanish, it tells me what I'm going to be learning. So it says, in Spanish, all nouns are either masculine or feminine. Often sounds end in O if they're masculine and A if they're feminine. And then it also gives you, and I like this part, not only does it spell it out for you and show you pictures, but it also allows you to hear it. Oh, let me turn my phone up, sorry. Make sure your volume is up.
El niño.
El niño. So you practice.
La niña.
La niña. Okay, notice how you use el if the word is masculine and la if the word is feminine. The apple is a girl. It's not just people that are masculine or feminine in Spanish, but objects are too.
El pan.
El pan. And then they have the picture of the bread next to the word. So that's really helpful. La manzana. Okay, so then it continues, it goes over how you say I and you and he and she. And once you get through all of the tips, so that's the end of all the tips, you see the button here at the bottom that says start lesson. So once you start the lesson, it says harder lesson, double XP. So if you, and this is also a versatility for if you have students that are more advanced than others, if you have students that are a little behind, if you have students that are right on, you know, task with what you're teaching and you feel like they understand the content. This also gives you the advantage of challenging those students who are actually a little more advanced. So for those students who are not on that level yet, you can press maybe later, right, for harder lesson. But If you have students that are more advanced, you can click Accept Challenge, which is the blue button. I'm going to accept the challenge. Okay, and so now you have different questions that you have to answer. The first question is, translate this sentence, a man. And I do know this one because it is el hombre.
El hombre.
I believe. Oops, I got that wrong. So you have 4 hearts left. Each mistake costs 1 heart. You need hearts to finish a lesson. So you have to, it also provides an opportunity for students to be a little more competitive, and also they don't want to lose their hearts. So it gives them incentive to make sure that they actually try their hardest, do their best, and get the questions correct, which I'm currently not doing, but yeah, so I'm going to keep going. But the correct answer was un hombre. Un hombre. I said el hombre. That's the man. Un hombre is a man. Okay.
Yo soy una mujer.
Yo soy una mujer. Also, I like this part too. It gives you the option to speak. It wants you to record your voice. So it also wants to make sure that you're pronouncing and enunciating all of the words and all of the sentences correctly. So I also like that aspect, because sometimes, you can have students that they might, especially if they go home and do something for homework, they can have an understanding or a memorization of a word or a sentence or a phrase, and maybe they don't pronounce it correctly or they're not enunciating properly. This option allows the app to make sure that the person is saying it correctly. So I'm going to press record again. I'm going to press repeat so I can hear it.
Yo soy una mujer.
Yo soy una mujer. Good. And it says I recorded that properly.
El niño, la niña.
So now I have to type this in English. El niño, to my